Hey y'all, Dilkrom here from Quality Beast, and I'm back for a second video showcasing the solo mode of Seize the Bean, which I have laid out in front of me here on the table. And this time, while we're still going to play in the starter district of Kreuzberg, I am now going to try to increase the difficulty a little bit by playing with this difficulty token, which you'll see close up later on my player board. So without any further notes or comments or blah 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 from me, let's jump on here to the table and get this game into action.
Here's the table, and today we're going to play solo mode. The main difference between this video and the first video I posted is that I am now playing with this difficulty token. And on this side you can see, maybe you can make out that on the top is 4 beans, 2 milk in the middle, and 2 sugar on the bottom. On the opposite side of the token is expert mode, which is 2 beans, 1 milk, and 1 sugar. But today we're just going to try hard mode, and we're going to see if we can still get starbots. So you'll notice that token slides in just perfectly to this groove in the player board. Quite nice. So obviously these are handmade. Right now we're just testing thicknesses, but it's working really well. And if you didn't watch the other video, I should say that the game itself is a mixture of handmade prototypes from the Quality Beast team, such as the cards or player boards or tokens, as well as some production samples, such as milk and sugar and beans, as well as actual items from the production line, such as the bags are actual. Those are not samples anymore. These are the actual bags. So there's a big mixture of things going on. So if you have any questions about what's what, just throw them in the comments of the video and I'll jump on that. Anyhow, just like the last video, since I am trying to explain my strategy a little bit, I wanted you to see me set up the last half of the game. And I have shuffled all the decks. We are playing with Kreuzberg again. I've also shuffled Starbots' solo mode deck and also the upgrade tokens. And I've shuffled my friends and family, and I've shuffled the cafe achievement, the 5 good review tokens, which have the Gutschein on the back. Now, as you can see, I am drinking a coffee here. And therefore, since I drank a coffee today, I'm first and Starbots is second. And I can go ahead and grab my resources of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beans and a milk. And then let's reveal the city. I don't know what my strategy is going to be yet. Interesting. All right. Okay. Right on. Okay, let's reveal 2 Gutscheine as well. Double hype. Oh, hang on 1 second. Sorry about that interruption. We have some dogs here, and they're jumping around in the background, getting all excited about coffee-related things. So, this looks like a decent game to start out with hipsters in my eyes. So I think I'm going to go for that. Since I'm the first player, I take the first action. I'm going to go here and get a style upgrade. And that's a tricky decision. This is a decent one for having hype already, but this one is going to give me connections every time I get a pantry upgrade, which is a little bit more useful considering that I'm over here with the lower difficulty. So I'm going to take that one. And what's interesting about, and there's a third. What's interesting about that card is it'll work even if I pivot my strategy. So I've done that. So Starbots is up. Starbots is going to immediately hype. Ouch. That's pretty brutal. Right at the beginning of the game. Then I'm going to take a pantry as well. You know what would be interesting here too would be already doing an attract, getting a hype, and already having 3 outs, accelerating myself as well. That could be quite interesting. And then being able to take a hipster because of that, or maybe even taking a musician or something like that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just take pantry item for this round. So I will get a look at the 3 cards on top of the deck. That's what Connections does. Quite interesting. We have a delivery. We have another delivery. Both of them are strong coffees. And then we also have a hipster high quality card. That's really important, actually. If I am going to go for hipsters, that's really important. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and take that one. I'll leave these two. I'll leave these 2 out here. Cool. So I have taken my 2 cards as my 2 actions. And go back over to Starbots for the second action, and that is attract a customer. And we're going to draw the second card and see who they attract, and of course, Starbots takes the hipster. Ouch. That kind of nuked my whole plan right there. Let's hope that there's going to be more hipsters coming out in the city. And it's not looking good yet. So this will happen. Starbots can block you like that. All right, we've both taken our turns and hype triggers, so Starbots is going to get 1, 2, and 3 good reviews already. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull out my first 2 customers. Lazy Friend, 1 bean, nothing happens. And then a bean and a milk, so basically a latte for Popular Friend. And then I'm going to get to attract somebody. That was just too bad that I missed out on, that hipster. So I'm going to have to pivot here. And the question is, what am I going to pivot into? Sip my coffee and think about this. Well, last game we did tourists already, so maybe that's not that interesting. And I'm just looking at what's out there. We know that there's a strong coffee for start-uppers that also has a delivery on it, which is going to be pretty neat. But I'm not seeing a lot of good ways to mix that here because we need to be getting milk. So we would need a milk symbol too. And to do that, we would take these caffeine sprinkles. There's not a lot of great movement in that direction. I was really set up good for a hype game. I think we might try it. I think we might try to pivot towards the tourists again. It's going to be a big point payout, and there's that super sitting right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take that tourist, as weird as that move might be. And there comes the super hipster. Well, it's okay because we'll still get them with word of mouth. So serve step is over, and we'll go ahead and word of mouth. We start out, so we're going to get this hipster into our discard pile. And actually, Starbots has no upgrades, so no word of mouth. And that would be the end of that round. So we'll go ahead and reset. Move the meeples back. As if you watched the last video, you know that I'm kind of tracking my rounds just for testing purposes. But this isn't an official. This isn't an official way to track rounds in the game. Although it works out pretty well. Mario did some really cool art here as a frequent customer card. And it has some numbers where you can stamp, show how many drinks you've drunk. So. All right, and then we also need to reset the city over here. So that's interesting. There's another super tourist out, so I'm quite considering leaning that direction now. Okay, so Starbots is going to kick it off, and we'll draw a card, and that is the asterisk. So that's the wild action, which we're still playing with the regular Starbots token, as we're calling it in development, even though there's nothing there on the board yet. So bear with me on that. That might seem confusing. If you didn't watch the first video, basically the player board would be covered up with a token that changes Starbots' resource actions, since Starbot doesn't get resources. And there wouldn't be a 6th action. There's only 5. And the 5th one typically would be get a good review for Starbots. But I'm playing with the idea of keeping this as an asterisk here in case we throw in a couple other tokens, which we're testing. And then that way the asterisk would just mean the 5th action, whatever it is. So right now that's a good review. Pretty weak action. And that's kind of what I mean. If we had another token that would increase the difficulty on Starbots' side, and here this token is increasing the difficulty on the player's side. Right on. Okay, that's happened. Now we're going to take our first action. Now I need to think really carefully about this. Now since we don't have a scoop, the first time we get beans is actually going to be pretty weak, unless we're going to go ahead and put on some quite good upgrades. But with that being said, I also don't want to miss this chance. I think here to be getting 3 of a kind on this side, and that might sound a little bit ridiculous, but I actually don't think it's a bad idea. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take this style upgrade right here, and I'm on my way there to have 3 of a kind, this exposed brickwork. All right, Starbots, kick it into action. And Starbots draws an asterisk again, but of course Starbots can't take the same action twice, so we would just draw another card. And that is attract a customer. Uh-oh, better not be the super tourist. Whew, okay, we lucked out. That was a party animal. So Starbots is playing an awards game right now, but with no upgrades. I think Starbots is on a losing streak here, to tell you the truth. All right, let's see. The next action that I'm going to do is going to be a pantry item. And we're going to have to think pretty carefully about this. We definitely want a bean or a milk ramp. And getting hype is not bad, because it would definitely pull our tourists out. Let's take a look at, let's use connections to take a look at the top 3 cards. See, oh wow, that's just too perfect. That's a scoop that attracts tourists. It'll give us pie, which can help out with the any snack. We basically have everything we need for a hipster tourist deck. Yeah, I think it's got to be that. This is going to help out next round, so let's bury that one because that's soybean for soy milk. Plus, there's going to be 2 milk there. Yeah, let's go for that. I like that. That's perfect. Right on. Okay, all actions have been taken, so hype step. Starbots just gets 3 points. So even though I was saying it's kind of a slow game for Starbots, as you can see, Starbots is already quite in the lead. All right, and then hype for myself. You know Opa's coming out at some point. So let's go ahead and do the 2 beans for Oma. And that's going to be our first good review. And then let's do 1 bean for Opa, and let's kick Oma out and start whittling this deck down already. So we'll discard those, and we'll do word of mouth starting with Starbots. Nothing. We'll do word of mouth over here, and I will get that super tourist just as planned. So if you haven't played Seize the Bean before, you'll notice that quite a lot is going on. Not only did I take this card because the scoop is going to help with our bean ramp, I also took the card because the pie is going to help us serve this any snack on the side of the tourist. But I also took the card because it was the only tourist card available, and it was my way to make sure that not only I get that tourist, but make sure I get any card during word of mouth. It's not always true, but often you want to make sure that you don't miss word of mouth. All right, now that we've done that, the round's over, and we're going to reset, and we're going to be first player. Reset these meeples. Reset the city, and we are on now round 3. So moving quite quickly. If you watched the other video too, you might have thought, oh wow, the games take quite a while or they go a little bit slowly, but I think that's just because I talk too much, and I talked a lot in that video. And as you can see with this video, we're going quite a bit faster as far as game pace. Oh, radio DJ, it's a super musician came out. All right, so I'm gonna take the first action. I have no resources, and let's take a look at the discard here. I have 2 super tourists, and I have a hipster. So this is quite interesting. Quite interesting here. With only 2 hype, I do hope to raise my hype. With only 2 hype, there's a good chance that we don't get anybody. With 3 hype, it's more possible, but still 50% of our deck is just friends and family. Now, we could get milk and raise our hype right away, but as soon as we serve a single soybean, we would have no milk left. And our hype's going to go right back down again. And if we get beans, which we need, we're not going to get anything with that. So this is actually a really tricky situation to be in right now, because almost no matter what we do, we can't be fully protected. Now, that being said, we could also just trigger this cafe, style upgrade cafe achievement here by taking this hipster one, and then we'd either get 2 people or 2 hype. So that would give us the 2 hype, which is pretty sweet. And then we could go ahead and get beans, which would serve 1, 2, 3, wow, 50% of our deck. Whew, it's really risky. We're definitely going to be taking a bad review, it looks like. But I think it's also risky to be leaving that out. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. It'd be 4 cards coming out, though. Actually, oof. Oof, oof, oof. I don't know. This is actually all kind of risky. All kind of bad. Well, I think the best thing to do is... yeah, that's rough. Deep in thought over here. Some AP. Oh, there's not many ways out of this. I think we're going to go for resources and play it safe. So we are going to go for a scoop and 6 beans. There's the scoop. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Starbots, you're up. What you gonna do? Starbots does a hype action. Okay, so we're kind of lucky there. I mean, that's not good because Starbots is going to be gaining more good reviews every round, but it is good because we didn't get this upgrade taken, which is what I was nervous about. All right, and then we're also going to increase our hype and get 2 milk. Starbots, second action. Ooh, pantry upgrade. And which pantry upgrade is Starbots taking? Number 1, cyclists. The isotonic espressos, and then also upgrading their hype action to attract a customer. Whew. All right. So that's that. We go to hype, and Starbots takes 1, 2, 3, and 4 good reviews. Ouch. This is stacking up. I have to come out of nowhere with a really good move here. Let's go ahead and shuffle up the deck. Do my best to make this random. As random as possible, as you can do with a 6-card deck. Who has good shuffling tips out there for shuffling a deck of only 5 or 6 cards? I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments. All right, there we go. 1, 2, and 3. Ouch, that's what I was afraid of. Right on. So I will start serving, and that is 2 beans, and that is 2 milk for the soy milk because we just don't have soy milk yet, and we have no sugar. So that was it for the Super Tourist. 3 good reviews. We are catching up, but this is going to get a little bit disastrous here now because it's -2 hype. Oh, we forgot to do the city maintenance here. And then it is 2 word of mouth, which just sucks because we really wanted to start utilizing that action, that ability. And with only hipsters, tourists in my cafe, I get nobody. Then we go to the popular friend, and because I have no milk, she gets angry. And then we go to the next tourist, the honeymooners, who's actually one of our, they're some of our Kickstarter backers. You haven't seen that card before. And they get angry also. Ouch. So discard, and then trade this one in for a bad review. And I still have 3 or less, so I keep her, and then trade this one in for a bad review. And I still have 3 or less, so I keep them as well. Here you go. You can see a close-up of them. A lot of cards actually are Kickstarter backers. This is actually a Kickstarter back here, right here too, as well. Or people that we know from real life. This is doesn't exactly look like her, but this is based on one of my friends from real life in Berlin, named Sarge. So, all right, we have done that. We now do word of mouth. We start with me, and once again, I dud out. Ouch. And then we go over to Starbots, and Starbots has gotten upgrades. So Starbots does finally get some successful word of mouths. And that's it for that round. So we do a swap, and we reset. Move over to this little beacon, put us at round 4. Advance the city. See what's coming out. All right, so we know I have to get milk. Actually, what's funny is with only one hype and 3 cards in our deck, I missed my opportunity with those tourists. That's actually kind of a big problem here. In fact, we know I don't have to get milk because all 3 of my milk cards are actually here in my discard. So that's quite interesting, to be honest. Now that musician medicinal milk card, that's quite nice. Not only does it give 2 milk, but it's also a soybean. So I got my eye on that. However, I'm not the first player. Starbots is. So let's flip a card. Whew, I'm lucking out this game. Starbots does the other action and just gets a good review. A lot of wasted actions over there by Starbots. So another thing that we're also on the ends of testing is the distribution of tokens and also the distribution of cards. And we're finding out if there's ways without changing the amount of components, if there's ways to adjust the difficulty level. We know that when you're playing a game like this, and when you're especially playing an AI as elementary as this, you're going to want small ways to adjust the difficulty to kind of suit your own player ability and play style. So don't worry if you think that this is the absolute final way solo mode is. I just wanted to share some videos that show the basis of the core mechanics of how solo mode works. And also with enough time left to get any feedback if there was any. All right, so Starbot's taking the action, and I will now take an action as well. So I'm incredibly tempted to take this card still, because it would give us 2 hype, but I'm also going to risk it slipping by. I think I'm going to risk it. I think I have to. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take a pantry item. Well, actually, this is quite interesting. Since we know it's only beans, I don't have to take either of these 2 actions, so I could actually do it. I could actually do it. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and raise my height by 1 and get this style upgrade here. That's going to go there like that. And that's 3 of a kind. So that wins me a cafe achievement. Wow. More hipsters coming out. More hipster style upgrades coming out. Now the question is, do I want to attract 2 customers? Or do I want 2 hype? I'm going to go for the hype. So that's 3 of a kind on this side. That's 5 points. 2 more hype. Now, that might have been a little bit ridiculous because now there is the chance, not just the chance, we know for sure one of these cards is coming out. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. Because now we really should get milk. And what's funny is if we get milk, we're going to raise the hype again. I don't always play this badly. All right. We've done that. Starbots, next action. Ooh, Starbots is taking a pantry upgrade. Uh-oh. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. And it is number 3. Woohoo! Missed by just a little bit there. But wow, Starbots really took both of the delivery upgrades that were out there. Those are both really good upgrades. So you can see how the randomization of Starbots, even game after game, seems like it kind of knows what it's doing. Also, Starbots is going to upgrade the style upgrade action to now give a good review when it's triggered. All right, in my second action, I have a lot to think about here. We're definitely getting a milk customer out, so I should probably trigger milk. The tricky part about that is when I do that, we're going to be getting 5 customers out, and we know Opa is going to come out first. So if it was Popular Friend, which it has a chance to be, Opa could eject her and make her go back to the city, which wouldn't be bad. It would thin the deck down. We'd only be able to serve one of them, but our word of mouth would still dud out pretty hard up here. That's really tricky. That's really, really tricky. Whereas if we got a pantry item here, and we took the soy milk, that would help out for next round, which we kind of need to be doing. And it would allow us to attract a musician, which, to be honest, might not be the smartest thing, although it would put more cards in our deck. Yeah, it's hard to say. I do think we need to get that ramp on, though, so ouch. I think we're going to do that, and I think we're going to dead out on one of these cards. We're going to have to. So there goes Pantry. We're going to look at the top 3 because of connections. Okay. Oh, wow. That card's quite nice. But we'll leave that, and we'll replace the musician one later with that one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Taking this medicinal milk, and then we'll do a word of mouth and get this super musician, which we do have the ability to make pie in-house. So that card's not terribly hard to serve, although we don't have any sugar right now. So there you go. I've taken my 2 actions. Starbucks took their 2 actions. So now we're going to trigger hype, and that's going to be 4 points for Starbucks. This is 4 right here, and wow, we are already to halftime in this game. Starbucks is just kind of slaughtering us. We just have a really slow strategy. We're really going to have to make up for it in the back half of the game because it's, I mean, what, 16 to -2 over here, 16 to 7. And we don't have that many cards in our deck. It's not like we're beating Starbots that much. All right, so hype on our side is 1, 2, 3. And we shuffle these cards. That super hipster is going to be very, very helpful in this deck, though. That's for sure. So I am praying that it is Popular Friend that comes out so that we can get rid of her. And it is not. It is one of our super tourists. Ouch. Okay, so first up, Grandpa. And the question is, do we want to attract that musician? Because if we do, we shouldn't eject anybody. But I think we more importantly need to get rid of Lazy Friend and start really, really thinning out this deck. All right, then the Super Hipster, which we do have the ability to roast our own high-quality coffee. So that's 2 hype. So 1 to put us at maximum hype, and then the second hype is actually going to be a good review. So let me move this stack down here. Put that little token back. That's going to be a good review for us. Moving on, we can't serve this super tourist, these old weekenders, so they are going to get angry. And that's the end of serving. Discard Grandpa. Discard the eccentric influencer. Trade in this angry token for a bad review. We are now at 3 bad reviews, so we do get to keep them. And that was actually pretty cool. We have really, really tiny, hard to see, different artwork on the bad reviews, and that bad review happened to have a couple on it matching the card. All right, so the next bad review that I get, I will actually lose the customer. So now it's really important to play perfectly. Starbots is going to attract this Startupper, matching the Inspiring Espressos pantry upgrade that they have, which is actually great that they did that because it gave us the chance to maybe attract someone, but we dud out. And here we are, round 5. Reset those meeples. Advance the city. Now, one of the reasons why we made this game so modular is that, especially if you're playing solo mode, after a while, it's not that you'll get bored, but after a while you might have already mastered. Right now I'm going for a certain strategy, right? I'm going for, kind of this tourist strategy. I'm mixing it with hipsters. And in a previous game, I was trying to mix it with musicians. After a while, you're going to master some of these different strategies. Or some of them, a lot of people don't like the Startuppers one. It's a little bit complicated, hard to pull off. Or some people might not like the tourists because they're hard to pull off. So there might be some that you don't like. There might be some that you mastered. And that's the exact reason why we put so many customer groups beyond the basic or the main 6 into the box for you. Not because we think, oh, this game needs to be overwhelming with content, but because what's really fun about Seize the Bean is once you get used to Kreuzberg, switching it up and going into another district, it's a whole different game. Same rules, but it's a whole different feeling, new strategies, and really exciting. It keeps the game quite fresh time and time again, which is quite important for, in my opinion, for a deck builder, a very thematic deck builder. I always want it to kind of be trying new things. So anyways, we have done that reset, and I will start with my action this round. We have quite a bit of beans, so I'm not sure that we need to trigger beans. We definitely need milk, and we maybe should just also get sugar. With 5 hype, we're definitely drawing a tourist, and we might be drawing another one of our tourists. And we also are probably drawing, I think we're going to be drawing our musician as well. So that, I mean, that might be the way to go. Just getting resources this round and not picking up anything. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, so let's go for milk first. So that's going to be 4 milk. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a hype, which is going to be a good review. So now we're coming back. We got a really nice setup of a shop in regards to tourists, because the musician upgrades actually work really well for tourists, and we also have quite a bit of hipster hype influence too. All right, so Starbots, what you gonna do? Ooh, style upgrade, and that's an immediate good review for Starbots. And Starbots draws another card to see what style upgrade. That's number 3. That's the party animals. That's free party favors. That's actually quite a good upgrade for Starbots to take right now to attract more party animals, because there's 2 supers out. And then Starbots is also going to upgrade their attract a customer action, which allows them to attract a second customer. Ouch. All right. That would be pretty brutal if Starbots trigger that action now. My second action, as we said, is going to be more resources, so I'm going to get 4 sugar. And the thing I'm trying to do right now is I'm really trying to trigger a big point turn. That's my whole objective. We'll see if it works. Starbots, second action. All right, that's the wild one. I say all right because that's just 1 good review, so it could have been a lot worse. Starbots going a little bit easy on me this game, but still, that's a lot of points over there. Okay, everyone's taking their actions. Hype, Starbots pulls 4 good reviews. This is exactly the reason why I need a big point turn. Starbots, due to the amount of hype Starbots has, is just clocking me right now. That early hype Starbots took in this game really put the pressure on big time, enormously here. So, I don't know. I mean, hopefully I can get almost all of these good reviews and then get 1 more round to pull another big stack of good reviews too. That's my hope here. So all hype on my side, and that's 1, 2, 3. With only 4 milk, this is going to be tight. I'm pretty bad at shuffling when I get down to 3 cards. All right, here we go. 4 and 5. Ouch, we really would have wanted that super tourist out. Okay, so the first tourist, we only have to do 1 milk because we have soybeans now. We have the ability to, I guess, milk our own soybeans in shop. And then also, we can serve that any snack. I just want to plan this out to make sure we have enough for everything. It looks like we do, though. Yeah. Yeah, so any snack is going to be a pie. And what we're going to end up getting is 3 good reviews for serving the main order. Just arranging those a little bit there. And then we're going to get a happy token on that tourist. Drop hype by 2. And we're going to do a word of mouth by 2. And this sucks big time. We get nothing. Nothing. Whew. That hurts. All right. We're going to the musician, so that's 2 pies, and then we will serve a milk, and the milk is going to keep them happy, which might have been a bad idea, but anyways. And then their ability triggers, and they're going to place 2 happy tokens. So this is really tricky here. What to do if we are going to eject somebody this round, which we totally could. Then we're going to be down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Which means that we're drawing them all. So it almost makes no sense to worry about who's staying in line. It's almost more about the order of who is there. But really, it's all about having those tourists. The popular friend is quite interesting because if we keep her around, we can continually attract people. So, I don't know. Grandpa maybe should eject himself, is what I'm thinking. And then keep popular friend around so that she can shake up the line. So I'm actually going to put both of those on popular friend so that hopefully she'll just hang out there. Okay, then we're going to serve popular friend, and that is going to be a bean and a milk. And we are almost out of resources. This is getting risky. and we're going to attract somebody. So here's exactly what I was saying. We want to shake up the line. I can't remember how many party animals Starbots took, so I'm hesitant to take one because I'm not sure that I want to compete. And definitely getting a cyclist in is going to help our resource ramp. The only problem is that we don't have any croissants. That is a big issue. That is a big issue. So we're going to have to take this dog on wheels, this chiller cyclist. Doesn't need as many croissants. And unfortunately, that shake-up didn't help us out here. All right, then Grandpa serve a bean, and he's going to eject himself, and he's going to cover up the super party animal, which is going to mess up Starbots a little bit because there's only one that they can get. And then we're going to serve this super tourist, so that's 2 high qualities, and then 1, 2, back up to 5, which is a great little combo there. So discard the hipster, and then we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And you might notice, why did I leave 1 on the popular friend? Because you only take off 1 happy token per round. It's just a way to prevent these from speeding up the game, because happy tokens aren't supposed to necessarily like overly speed up the game, but they're also a way to allow somebody to be so happy that they stay in line multiple turns, which is pretty neat. And if we do a demo of Prenzlauberg, you might get to see that at play with the happy families, which is pretty neat. But anyways, that's another topic. So we've done that. They all stay in line because they had happy tokens on them, and they stay like they were. And now we do word of mouth. I would start, and unfortunately, no word of mouth for me at all. And for Starbots, there's going to be a party animal. All right, another tourist came out. So then we do a switch. We are now in round 6. Reset. And as far as I can tell by that stack of good reviews, this is the last round. So I did not get a major point turn that last round. That was not the big scoring turn that I wanted. So I am not sure what is going to happen here, if I'm honest. Starbots kicking it off. First card is Hype. Ouch. And Hype allows Starbots to, first of all, raise Hype, of course, but then attract a customer. We're going to draw a card to see which customer that is going to be. And that is number 2. Ow! Wow! So, that just hurts. If Starbots gets one more tourist-related thing, so for example, this upgrade, then Starbots would be competing with me for the tourist award. This is not good at all right here. All right, so I'm going to take an action. We already have full hype. We have only 4 beans, 1 milk, and 1 sugar. That is a disaster. That is a disaster. We definitely need 3 beans just for the customers in our line right now. And we're going to draw our entire deck. So we need beans. There's no way around that. And the other tricky thing is that we could take a pantry upgrade, and we could take this tourist one, and that tourist one would allow us to do the milk row and then trigger the scoop, which is a pretty smart move, I think. It wouldn't allow us to get a word of mouth for musicians because we'd be covering it up, but this musician's likely going to stay in our line. Unfortunately, it doesn't lead us to get the cafe achievement, unlock the cafe achievement on the side. It comes close, but we would need 1 more round. It does, however, let us do a word of mouth, which we could trigger first and get the musician. So I think we're going to do that. It might not be the smartest move, but we're going to go ahead and try that. So we're going to do a word of mouth first. Get this musician. Oops. There comes a hipster. Actually, we would have wanted that hipster. Then we're going to go ahead and take a pantry, and we can look at we can use connections to look at the next 3 just in case. But I don't think there's something that we're taking here. I think we're going to go ahead and get this tourist one. That'll also help us secure the tourist award as well. It's 1 more symbol. All right, so we've gotten that. Starbots is up. Supposedly, final action for Starbots. We draw a card, and that is attract a customer. And I was saying in the last video that probably at this point we should shuffle Starbot's deck because there's only one card left. But just for the sake of this game, I haven't been card counting. I think it's fine. I'm going to flip this. Oh, actually, we're going to need to anyways because let's attract 2 customers. So the first customer they're going to attract is going to be this Super Cyclist. And then we are actually going to have to shuffle the deck because we're going to need to draw a second card for that second attractor. So I guess maybe we should have done it before we drew that Super Cyclist, but it's okay. It's a little bit arbitrary. But as you can see, it's quite easy to tell when you're down to the last card. Oh wow, I'm terrible at shuffling. Oh. There we go. Haphazardly mixing. One more. Okay, and then I'll cut it. And let's draw customer number 2, Startuppers. I'm really scared of Starbots. I think Starbots is going to win quite some points with awards, if I'm honest here. This is not looking good. Okay, and then as we said, I will take 4 milk. I get a hype, which is going to be a good review, and I also trigger delivery, which I'm going to use to get a scoop. It wasn't that many. Okay. Ouch. Here we go. I better really have a huge scoring turn. I really need a bunch of word of mouth to happen for me here. So, hype goes and Starbots takes 5 good reviews. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Starbots just about almost ended the game there. 1 good review left. And then I'm going to trigger my hype, so that's a 1 customer, and then 2. Let me move these over. Shovel, because we don't know what order they're going to be in. 3 and 4. Now, my hype would have had me draw more cards than I have. I don't actually get anything for that, unfortunately. Oh, did I miss a point with the hype triggered here? I'm not sure. We'll check the video. If I lose by 1 point, you know I should have taken it. But anyways, what I was saying was I should have drawn a 5th card, but I didn't have a 5th card. Now with hype, nothing happens. But with the draw symbol, where is that? I don't see it anywhere. Oh, right here. So with this symbol, draw a card, which actually it's changing with the new iconography, the finalized iconography. But that symbol, what would happen with that is you would actually, for every time that's triggered that you have not an empty deck, but an empty deck and empty discard, you would get a good review, which is pretty neat. So anyways, there's my line. Let's see what I can do with it. I'm going to serve 2 beans and a soy milk. And I better plan this out to see what's possible here. So let's see. I'm definitely going to be serving this tourist their soy milk. Anybody else who I can give a milk to would be good. Actually, wow, I have just perfect amount of milk. That's going to be a bean there. That's going to be 2 beans there. This would be 3 beans on the side. This would be 2 more beans here. Wow, this is just perfect. And unfortunately, I have only 1 sugar. A single sugar. So it's probably going to be this musician in order to make this musician not give me a bad review. I think that's how it's going to have to go. Oh no, but the downside is this cyclist, which is last in line. This cyclist that is last in line would actually help this whole scenario quite a bit, but they can't. Ouch, yeah. I can't serve them. So I think I'd rather lose them than lose my musicians. Although having them in line during word of mouth would allow me to attract a cyclist. But I'm going to get a bunch of cyclists anyways in the meantime, so I'm going to put these back. I'm gonna plan on not serving them, I think. All right, so we already did the beans and the milk for this tourist, so that's 1 good review. I've ended the game. And then we're going to take from the box 2 more. So I'm really bad at making stacks of 5, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And then we can't serve their side, unfortunately. We get -2 hype, and then we get 2 word of mouth. So since I can't be guaranteed what's going to be coming, and I'm not 100% sure how many cyclists they took, I am actually hard to say. Okay, I'm going to take this hipster first. I'm going to take this hipster. And then my second one, ooh, wow. My second one's going to be this tourist. Ooh, a lot of cyclists here. I probably should have taken more cyclists. We'll see. I'll still be able to do it. Okay, then we're going to do this radio DJ, which nothing happens. Actually, so we can put this milk back, unfortunately. So can't serve them, so they're going to get angry. Moving on to our popular friends, so that's going to be a bean and a milk for basically their latte or their cappuccino or whatever it is, and we're going to be able to track someone. I think what I'm going to do is take another cyclist, or take a cyclist to begin with. See what we can shake out here. Oh, a musician. Okay. Oh, unfortunately, a musician's not going to stay. Oh, this musician will stay in line. Okay, great. Okay, and then that is soy milk, 2 beans for 3 more good reviews. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Cool. And then that's -2 hype again. So this is really bad because this hipster at the end basically just gives us no points from all that. So now it's going to be 2 more word of mouth. I mean, at this point, I should just go all in on these cyclists, I think. Because I'm not going to be able to get them in the natural word of mouth. Yeah, I'm taking another. That's what I'm going to do. Really hoping I can pull through here on the awards. Okay, and then this musician gets their pie, as well as the soy milk, and so they become happy. And they also place a happy token, which is going to be on this DJ. But because they were angry, the happy token and the angry token just cancel out. So they just aren't angry anymore. Then we can't serve this dog on wheels, so we're actually going to lose that cyclist, unfortunately. And then lastly, the hipster. We pay 2 high-quality coffees, and they are served. That was our line. Whoa, not a terribly amazing turn. This is going to be neck and neck here at the end, I think. So we're going to discard all these cards, except for those with tokens on them. And we're going to process the tokens. So 1 happy token taken from each of those cards. They stay in line, and I get 1 good review for each. And we are now at about 20 points, -3. But and then this one is going to turn into a bad review. And because we are now over 3 bad reviews, they go back to the city. Then we go to Starbots to do an attract. Starbots has startuppers and party animals, which there are none. That was great. That was a great setup for me. And then we have tourists, musicians, and hipsters. So I'm pretty sure that I secured hipsters by now. I'm pretty sure that I secured tourists too. I'm not 100% sure that I secured musicians. So I'm going to go ahead and take the musician. That's going to be what I do here. And that will end the game. So we're going to count up the score here. And in order to do that, I'm going to try to make my customers visible for all of you watching. So we're going to put them out like that. I actually had a pretty good spread for not having the best game ever. Let's see what Starbots had over here. It's going to be kind of hard to lay out. So that's Starbots' tourists there. Okay, let's go ahead and exchange some good reviews. So because I had 4 bad reviews here, we're gonna have 4 good reviews go back to the box, and then I had 5, 10, 15 here. So we're gonna just put those away, make this easier to count. So I'm not the best mathematician in the world. 5, 10, 15, plus 1, and then I'm going to put these bad reviews back because we've already neutralized them. Then Starbots had, that was 5, that was 10, that was 15, That's 20. That's 25. Youch. Youch, Starbots. Starbots really aggressive hype game. That was 25, right? So 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Okay, now let's do the awards. Who had the most hipsters? Starbots had 1 and no upgrades. I had 5, so that was mine. Now I get a point for the award, which is one of the kind of arbitrary rules that we're still toying with whether it needs to be in the game or not, but I do kind of like it. And then I get 2 more good reviews because I have 2 hipsters. Then we do the cyclists. Starbots has 2 and I have 3, so I snuck that right at the end. So if I end up winning this game, by a couple points, it was that right there. 1, 2, 3. Tourist, Starbots has none. 1, but I have 4 symbols, and 3 of them are customers, so it's going to be 3 points plus the 1 for the award. And then we have musicians. I also snuck by. Oh no, Starbucks didn't have any musicians, so that's mine. That's another 4 points because of the award. So this is a reason why we're considering the awards not giving a point, because as you can see, you're already getting a lot of points if you win the award. So what's the reason to have, to also get a point for it? So Starbots won the Startuppers. So that's 3 points for Starbots right there. And then I believe Starbots also won the Party Animals. So that would be another 3 points. Put that up there. All right, let's tally this up. So Starbots has, that's 6, that's 8, plus 25 is 33 points. And I have 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 plus 1 is 5. Plus another 4 is 9. Plus another 4 is 13. Plus a 13 plus another 3 is 16. So what did I say? 20. So 36. And how many does Starbucks have? Excuse me, my memory. I'm an old man. So 25. 3, 6, 8, 33. Oh, wow. So I just won by a couple points. Whoo! And as I said, also I might have missed a hype. But what's interesting here, if you look at it, is that if I won by 3 points, is that what we're saying? Then actually, if these awards didn't give good reviews, right? So I'd be down 4 points, and Starbots would be down 2. So that would be a 2-point difference. So I'd only be winning by 1. So you can see that the awards giving points is maybe something that just last minute will change in the rulebook and remove, because it just seems like it gives too many. In my opinion, it could be the case. I mean, one last point count without it. So this would be 20, and then 3, 3, 3 is 9, plus the 1 is 10, so that'd be 30. Would be 33 without that. And then Starbots would be 25, as you know, plus 2, 4, 6, so 31. So that's a little tighter game, a little bit more interesting, in my opinion. So maybe this will be the last time you see us play that way. But if you watch the first video, you'll see that Starbots maybe played a little more aggressively. I played a little bit weaker, but also this was quite hard with this ramp here. I mean, you definitely saw both sugar and milk giving me an issue, and so this was on hard mode. So stay tuned to the next video where instead of 4 beans, 2 milk, and 2 sugar, we're going to flip this over. We're going to try to beat Starbots in the expert mode. 2 beans, 1 milk, and 1 sugar.
So there you have it. Thanks so much for tuning in for this solo mode playthrough of Seize the Bean on hard mode for the player in Kreuzberg. And you saw me try to enact a tour strategy. It pulled through just barely there at the end. You could even say that cafe achievement of the 3 hipster upgrades is what really saved me. So you can probably see how the difficulty level is, it's there, but it's nuanced, and we want it to be that way. So let me know what you think, and if you have any questions or any feedback, or you just want to say hi, or whatever you want to do, tell me your favorite kind of coffee, put it down in the comments, and I'll see you for the next video where I play expert mode. gonna need some coffee for that one. Ciao, y'all.